provide an update on our city's crime statistics for the first quarter of 2025 and share some information regarding significant cases throughout the city. From January 1st to March 31st of this year, we've seen a notable decrease in crime citywide as compared to the same time period in 2024. We've experienced reductions in nearly every major crime category. Although gun-related violence continues to trend downward, there has been a slight uptick in shooting incidents involving unoccupied structures. The increase in homicides remains a point of contention at this point, and I will address both of these small upticks shortly. Overall, Part 1 crime for the first 3 months of this year have decreased 37%. That's from 10,498 incidents to 6,583 incidents in 2025. Violent crimes, which are classified as homicides, aggravated assaults, sexual assaults, robberies, have decreased 33%, from 1,894 incidents in 2024 to 1,265 incidents in 2025. Homicides have increased from 20 in 2024 to 23 in 2025 during this first quarter. That is an increase of 15%. However, year to date, or as of today, we have had 27 homicides versus 25 homicides at the same time period last year, an increase of 8%. One homicide is too many. However, our homicide section has made tremendous progress in solving a lot of these cases, with a 70% clearance rate for the first quarter of this year in our homicides. This is a testament to the tireless efforts of our investigators and our officers. Aggravated assaults are down 22%, from 870 in 2024 to 677 in 2025. Sexual assaults or rapes are down 33%, from 52 in 2024 to 35 in 2025. Robberies are down 44%, from 952 to 530 incidents in 2025. Regarding property crimes, our burglaries are down 33% for the same time period last year, from 3,026 incidents in 2024 to 1,944 incidents in 2025. Motor vehicle thefts are down 46%. Larcenies are down 31%. And arsons, we did see an uptick in arsons. We went from 25 in 2024 to 31 incidents in 2025. Most incidents involving arson are involving vehicles and unoccupied residents at this time. These reductions are directly related to the hard work and dedication of every member of our OPD family, both sworn and professional staff. This progress is due in large part to the efforts of our specialized units, including Ceasefire, our Special Resource Section, the Criminal Investigations Division, the Intelligence Unit, Traffic Enforcement, and our patrol officers. Our continued collaboration with our community-based organizations, local businesses, law enforcement partners, and residents have played a large part in the reduction of crime across our city. While we're encouraged by the reductions in the violent crime and property crime, we recognize that there's more work to be done, especially when it comes to gun violence and homicides within our city. I understand that if you've been a victim of a crime, it may not feel like crime is going down, but please know that our officers are deeply committed to investigating and solving your cases each and every day. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Assistant Chief James Beer, who's going to provide an update in regards to a significant investigation and arrest made just today. Chief.
Thank you, Chief. Good afternoon. In just under 2 hours, a group using 2 vehicles committed a total of 6 burglaries and robberies, targeting gas stations and convenience stores throughout the city of Oakland. The first incident took place at the 3300 block of Grand Avenue. The crime spree began shortly before 5 a.m., where the suspects used a vehicle to ram the front doors of the business before going inside and burglarizing it. They then fled that scene and immediately drove to the 3300 block of Park. This second incident occurred shortly afterwards, and it was involving a gas station. The suspects this time approached on foot and used an unknown tool to break the doors to gain entry. They burglarized that location and then immediately fled. and drove to the 700 block of Market Street. They forced entry into another gas station at this location and commit yet again another burglary. Once done at this location, they then drove to the 4100 block of Redwood Road. The suspects exited their vehicles, approached the front door of the gas station, at which point was being occupied by a clerk. Fearing for her life, the clerk locked herself in an adjoining room, and the suspects forced entry there and committed yet again some more thefts. Following that incident, the suspects then drove to the 600 block of High Street. This was also a gas station. They forced entry into this location and burglarized it. Then they drove to the 2400 block of MacArthur Boulevard, entered into another convenience store, and approached the clerk. The clerk immediately feared for his safety, put his hands up in the air, and they stole the cash drawer. I want to thank the officers assigned to our Special Resource Section East. In coordination with the Real-Time Operations Center, they utilized technology, witness accounts, and the community support, and were able to track down the vehicles immediately following the sixth incident. They followed those vehicles, they coordinated with our patrol officers, and we used officers citywide to converge onto the location once they were in a safe place. At that scene, 4 suspects were arrested, 3 male adults and 1 female adult. There was also evidence from the crime spree from different locations recovered at that scene. A Criminal Investigations Division call-out was initiated. Patrol officers are still gathering evidence, including video footage, witness statements, and additional evidence from various different scenes. We're still in the early stages, but we'll work with the District Attorney's Office to determine the appropriate charges, but they range from home invasion, robbery, and burglary at this time. I'm going to go ahead and turn this over now to Chief Shavies, who will be giving you an update on some recent homicide investigations. Chief Shavies.
Thank you, sir. So good afternoon, everyone. Unfortunately, last night, the city experienced its 27th homicide of calendar year 2025. Officers responded to the report of a shot spotter in the area of 102nd and International. Once on scene, officers located a subject suffering from at least 1 gunshot wound. Medical personnel were immediately summoned, but unfortunately the individual was pronounced deceased there on the scene. Investigators are currently, as we stand before you today, tracking down leads. We ask that if there's anyone with any information regarding this matter, that they contact the Oakland Police Department's Homicide section at 510-238-3821. Early Saturday morning, just after midnight, the city experienced its 26th homicide of the year. Officers responded to the report of a shot spotter in the area of 17th Street and Telegraph Avenue. Once on scene, they were advised that a victim suffering from multiple gunshot wounds had been transported to a local hospital. Alameda County Sheriff's deputies and medical staff located an adult suffering from gunshot wounds and attempted to render aid. Unfortunately, Mr. Roosevelt Jones succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced deceased at Highland Hospital. Homicide investigators and ceasefire officers, as well as Special Resource Section officers, sprung into action chasing down various leads. And on Saturday night, the Alameda County Sheriff's Office located a vehicle associated with this homicide in the city of Hayward. They coordinated with the Oakland Police Department's Homicide section, and on Monday afternoon, investigators from Homicide as well as ceasefire officers were able to locate 2 individuals associated with this homicide. They were able to take Mr. Jashandre Upshaw and Mr. Maurice Heron into custody for various crimes related to this homicide. The case has since been presented to the Alameda County District Attorney's Office, and Mr. Upshaw has been charged with murder, while Mr. Heron has been charged with various firearms-related offenses. We're grateful to the members of our community that have assisted in this investigation. We're grateful to those at City Hall that have approved the use of technology that we've leveraged in these investigations. We're also grateful to the Alameda County Sheriff's Office for their assistance in this case, as well as the help that they've provided throughout the investigation. And again, I don't know that any of us standing before you can thank the hard-working officers of the ceasefire section as well as our homicide section to help bring some resolution to this case and some justice to the families that are involved. Thank you so much.
That will open up for some questions.
Is there any indication why Mr. Roosevelt Jones was the target of this shooting?
So the investigation remains ongoing, but we believe that this stemmed from a possible robbery, but the investigation is ongoing.
So he was possibly the victim of a robbery.
It's still an open investigation. We have some charges, but the investigation remains ongoing, and we hope to provide further details at a later date.
The latest homicide, the 27th victim, do you have any other information that you can talk about in terms of the circumstances of that homicide?
The individuals at Royal Gas, located at 102nd and International, when a subject approached them and fired at least one shot in his direction, ultimately fatally striking him. As far as motive and suspect information, we're not ready to push that out yet.
We talked to some people earlier today with the latest smash and grab kind of robberies that you were talking about. Had swept through the city, and I don't know if I guess it was all today. And you're saying, crime's down, this down, that down. A lot of people are saying they don't it doesn't feel that way. Is there a correlation to your efforts and the perception out on the street? And if not, how can you make that link?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And the chief touched on it already when he was speaking. If you're the victim of a crime, no matter what the trend is, and if crime's going down, it's going to be very hard for you to feel safe. The reality of it is that a lot of these smash and grabs are not unique to Oakland. There's still additional investigations that we're currently working that will have resolution real soon. We do have warrants for arrest. We do know that these people are targeting businesses throughout the greater Bay Area. But if you come to Oakland with some of the resources that Chief Shavy's just mentioned, the technology, our ceasefire section, our special resource section, you're going to see results like you saw today. We're going to track you down. We're going to arrest you. We're going to recover the video. We're going to get the evidence. And now we're working with the district attorney's office, and people will be held accountable. So I can tell the public, my neighbors, my community members, that if something happens to you, we will, out of all of our best efforts, track them down, arrest them, and bring them to justice. That's the best I can do. Obviously, our officers are working day in and throughout the night, every day, all week long, and they're the most professional, hardworking police officers in the country, and they're dedicated to continue serving the citizens of Oakland. So
I'll piggyback on that. I think it's important to understand that when we have these crews that go out, they can cause so much damage so fast. This crew hit 6 different places within a 3-hour period, and our officers have to get up on them, find out what their next target is, get surveillance in place and try to track them down. I think one of the most important things that comes out of this is, yes, the numbers are going down, but if you're a victim, you don't feel that, but the numbers are going down. We have a partner in the DA's office with DA Ursula Jones-Dixon, and I believe that we're trying to shift the narrative so all those that would come to Oakland to cause harm understand that as a police department, we're going to do our best to do everything to take you into custody and present good cases to the DA's office, so her and her crew can do what they need to do to take some of these people off the street. Yes.
So I had spoke to one of the gas station owners about a month ago. It had happened at that time. He seemed to think that the same kids were doing that, and he had some surveillance data that he shared. Is there any reason to believe that the group that you caught today is responsible for those as well, or is there different factions of groups
So obviously the investigation's still ongoing. We're in the early stages. There was a criminal investigation call out. We are looking at all the other incidents that are same MO or very similar in nature. We're not ruling that out. Right now we do have them identified as committing these past 6 robberies and burglaries. I will tell you the Criminal Investigations Division or Burglary Section has identified another crew that is operating not just exclusively in Oakland, but throughout the San Francisco Bay Area. We have significant leads. We will be conducting enforcement. And then there will be an operation in the near future for another group that we do know is involved in commercial burglaries. I can't get into the details of that because that is an open investigation. There will be swift action on that as well. Unfortunately, this again, it's not just unique to Oakland. These groups, whether they're from Oakland or from outside, are engaging in this behavior throughout Northern California.
Jacob had a question. Just real quick, where were the arrests made today?
The undercover officers and technology actually located them in a safe area, the 3400 block of Wood Street. It was the safest place where we could take them into custody without putting the residents, community members, and the suspects in a greater risk.
Do you believe that any other suspects are involved? You said 4 arrests. Are there any other outstanding people? And then also there was a break-in at a 7-Eleven yesterday on Harrison. Is this the same crew as well?
So with regards to today's incident, there is at least 1 suspect still outstanding. There was 2 vehicles involved. We were able to disable both vehicles during the takedown. 1 vehicle still managed to get away with 1 occupant. The majority of the people involved were taken into custody. With regards to that 7-Eleven on Harrison, I can't get into too many details, but I will tell you that our investigators are on top of it. We do not believe it's related to these people that committed the crimes today, but we do have significant leads, and we feel very confident to be bringing them to justice here pretty soon too.
Were there weapons recovered?
No weapons were recovered today at this incident.
These just happened recently. Were these homegrown suspects, or were they coming from out of area?
So for this particular incident that we're discussing today, the 4 adults that were taken into custody, they are from Oakland. The other 2 groups, I will say, are a mixture of residents of Oakland and then throughout the Northern California Bay Area.
2 last questions, David.
So, as far as the series today, was it only 1 business where the car rammed into the building, or how many? And then as far as the overall crime, Chief, could you speak to why you think homicides might be up as well as shootings that you mentioned?
So I'll handle the first part of that question. So there was multiple businesses that were rammed that were used as, say, smash and grab. There was, off the top of my head, at least 2, and then there was 2 businesses where they used a tool to gain entry, and then there was another business where they forced it open.
And quickly, I just want to make sure that I'm giving correct information because I know my report was ran yesterday. Is it 27 or 28 with the one today?
27.
Is it 27? Okay, so 27 versus 25, it's a small uptick. It's 8%, but again, any homicide is a tragedy for that family and for our city. There's no real specific pattern of that. Some of them are, robbery related. Some of them are, just disputes between different factions and different people. So there's no real pattern to why that is. We're trying to put a visible presence out there on our streets to make it difficult for people to operate and commit crimes, and we're going to continue to do that. But the 2 additional that we have this year versus last year, and we had a pretty substantial decrease last year, it's alarming to us, and we want to make sure that we jump on it as fast as we possibly can.
Jacob, this question for Chief. You mentioned a little bit earlier that you have a partner in the DA's office with the new DA, Ursula Six, and I'm kind of curious, has there been a difference in the cooperation between your office and your department and the DA's office? And can you flesh out a little bit more about what you mean by trying to shift the narrative a little bit?
Yeah, so let's start with your last piece of it, shifting the narrative to make sure people don't think that they can come into our city and commit crime and they will not be held accountable. When the new DA was sworn in, we had a conversation, and she was very forthcoming in saying that she was going to be a partner in trying to make Oakland a safer city and hold those accountable who wanted to bring harm. And that's all we're asking for. And I think that's all the citizens of Oakland are asking for, is just to have a partner that we're going to hold people, we're going to use procedural justice, but we're going to hold people accountable and make sure that they understand that if they come to Oakland to do harm, that we're going to do everything as a police department to hold them accountable and present good cases, and that she is going to do everything that she's supposed to do in regards to prosecuting those cases and filing the charges appropriately.
The first part of that question, it was we had a two-part question. But yeah, has there been a difference in the operation?
You know, I would say just the openness to understand what we're trying to do here as a police department, as a city, to try to make Oakland safer for its residents, and also for those outside of Oakland when they look at Oakland, to understand that, you know, that we're working in partnership. We exchanged numbers right away, and we've been in contact with folks, and we try to make sure that we're at the same meetings when we both can be, to show that we are a team in this effort moving forward.
I just want to clarify. Three men, one woman arrested today, one outstanding. Correct?
That's correct.
And do you have the identity of the person that's outstanding?
Still an open investigation.
No, we don't. Not right now.
And was there another crew that you said that was still outstanding, or?
There's another investigation that we're still working on, but we're not ready to talk about that yet because we haven't taken them into custody yet.
But it's still related to smash and grab, like who
Yes.
would smash and grab people?
Yes, sir.
How long have they been operating, roughly?
Can't get into
Yeah.
that.
When we get them in custody, we'll have another one.
Thank you. Appreciate it.